A teacher has lost his appeal against unfair dismissal after misgendering a student. Kevin Lister from New College, Swindon, misgendered a student and used the incorrect name when he referred to this particular student, and he also refused to celebrate students who had been persuaded to take wrong sex hormones and liken the social transitioning of a child to the illegal act of performing female genital mutilation. On top of this, and here's the sinister part, they have made an entry on the DBS register which bans this teacher from teaching ever again. And that entry will also affect his ability to apply for many jobs out there. A 60-year-old man who's given his life to teaching, punished and thrown on the scrap heap because he refuses to agree and go along with this madness. We should all be terrified by this decision, because add to this the fact that Hamza Yusuf introduced some of the most draconian hate laws in Scotland just recently. He's got the police in for specialist training in social media with an instruction for them to go out and target comedians, all in the name of hate crime, all in the name of not offending minorities. How many of you actually believe that he's really concerned about all the minorities? Or do some of you actually think perhaps he may have one or two favourites? I'll let you draw your own conclusions. But what matters to you and I is that they are already talking about criminalising climate change denial, criminalising objection to immigration, criminalising everything that goes against their sinister narrative, and all the different minorities who have been exploiting this wind of rights for the minority are basically playing into the government's hands, because the government does not care less about these minorities. They do not care whatsoever. They are simply political vehicles for them to introduce draconian laws to gag the rest of us. The game plan is always the same. Create a problem, exaggerate the problem, terrify the people, offer a solution, and the people willingly acquiesce. I can't believe, after what we are seeing, that anybody would even consider voting for either of this sinister duopoly. George Galloway referred to them as cheeks from the same bum. I prefer to refer to them as rats from different sewers, or the same sewer, who knows. But ultimately, the time for change is now, before it's too late, because one or two more terms of Parliament and we will not be able to speak up. Anybody who contradicts their madness will be locked up. Meanwhile, they encourage nutters to run around our streets supporting terrorists, flying a pseudo flag, supporting a pseudo state who actually will not stand down and even release some hostages as a gesture towards peace. And yet, when they have to answer for their actions, they play the victim. All of this is misdirection. All of the media attention on boats arriving is misdirection. They could stop them. They have the legal right to stop them. The reason that they don't is that they can flood our media with information and news about boats arriving, so that it takes our eyes off of the 1.4 million last year who arrived legally. How many will arrive over the next decade? People arriving with more and more rights, Indigenous people with less and less rights. What is that a recipe for? If you want change, you must vote for it. If you want to see reform in this country, you must vote for reform. Great Britain needs reform, and reform needs your vote. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.